Hey YouTube, it's Craig here. Reviews for you, not in a wrinkled shirt. It's a little small, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm getting fat. I don't know. Either way, it kind of makes it look like I got like man boobs, which might fit in pretty well at Lucasfilm. Might help me get the job. I might wear this shirt. Well, what it is a Batman shirt, so it's no, I don't think. They're just as bad as Dork Side of the Force. I mean, they're extremely horrible. And I believe the topic was Kathleen Kennedy is the savior of Lucasfilm. When? They've made $4 billion since Kathleen Kennedy rejuvenated Star Wars. Okay, they made $4 billion gross. Now, take how much money they put into it, take everybody's stuff away from theaters, you know, the theater sales, they get ticket sales, they get their money off of it and everything else. They have not made $4 billion. I mean, if I told you what I made gross every year, that'd be great. Man, if I could actually pull that in, that'd be awesome. But I don't. Taxes eat you a frickin' alive. So it's the same with that. Ticket sales, they normally take 40 to 45% of ticket sales. So if you take $2 billion and 45%, then now I'm going off of The Force Awakens, and you do 45% of that, well, then you've made a little over $1 billion. Okay, it took you $500 million to promote it, so you made $500 million off of it. That's the only one that's actually really made a substantial amount of money. And that's because that's the first one they fooled us with. The second one made half as much money, which is Ruin Johnson's freaking Last Jedi. That big steaming emoji of shit. Yes, that one. Which technically went way over budget, pushing over $300 million. With around $250 million in advertising, so $550 million in it, and $1.3 billion minus 45%. So they made around $233 million with it. So there's $733 there. Now, as far as Solo goes, they're estimating $80 million, but that's their $80 million loss. But that's after toy sales and DVD. Now, toy sales from the manufacturer, that deal is done up front. I'm not privy to that information on how much money is actually paid over. So it doesn't matter if you buy it from the store or anything else. You know, that stuff's already licensed. It's done. So I can't tell you about that, but man, I feel bad for the companies that are involved in that. So, I mean, my number is honestly going to be around $170 million. Loss. That's my number, and so far my numbers have been dead on as far as openings, losses, what it's going to make, and everything else. My numbers have been dead on. I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I've done production work. I've had my own TV show. I know how all this stuff works. I've done this for a long time. So, with that being said, you know, you take that and take it off of what they've made, and then you still have Lucasfilm employees that you got to pay, and then you still have the $4.3 billion that you freaking paid for Lucasfilm. Now, granted, I don't know how much you're making off of it at Disney, but at the actual Disney parks, but I mean, from what I've seen, you're not really making a whole lot of anything. So he goes through a list of these movies that wouldn't be movies without Kathleen Kennedy. I got news for you. He's talking about E.T. and the older Lucas films and the older Spielberg films. I got news for you. All she did is run and go get coffee in them films. She was a producer. You know what a producer does? They're in charge of money. That's it. They're in charge of money. Okay. Well, we'd still have those films. And then a lot of the films that he named were crap films to begin with. So, yay. But he was, yeah, he just rambled on and on and on, and all of us fans are bigots, and we're racist, and we're horrible people, and we're nothing but bullies, and man, he just went on and on and on for like this far in the article, and then there at the very end, he was like, but if you were one of the people that didn't do this, I'm not talking about you. You just went through and berated everybody. That's like, you know, me sitting there and just cussing somebody out and just getting on them. I'm talking about the way I can. And at the very end going, with all due respect. That doesn't mean you get to say what you want to say, as long as there's a little excerpt at the bottom of it that says, oh, well, if you didn't do it, this doesn't apply to you. Because you've made everybody that read that article, they're not going to get down to that part. And if they do, they're not even going to pay attention to that part. So, Forbes, there you go. I'm not one of the people that did it, because I'm not racist. And I'm not anti-woman. And didn't even know she had an Instagram to begin with. And to be honest with you, you don't even know that that's why she freaking shut her Instagram down. So, but anyway, that's to you anyway. And Ryan Johnson, just because I do that to you every day. I just need to take a picture of that and just, you know what? Twitter war tonight. It's going to happen. Somebody tag me in something that somebody says, because man, I'm ready for a Twitter war. I'll be in the middle of my projects and everything else. So I'm looking for some action. So if anybody sees anything or anybody says anything, steps out of line, you just let me know and I will be there with my sarcasm. I am ready. It's Friday. It's Friday. I'm probably going to drink a couple beers tonight. I ain't had a beer in a long time. Probably drink me a couple beers tonight. Oh yeah, I'm ready. Twitter war time. Kick me off of Twitter. Suspend my account again. You know, put me in timeout. I'll be in Twitter timeout. So that's okay. I'll take Twitter timeout. Not a problem. Anyway, I just want to tell each and every one of y'all subscribers, that I appreciate every one of y'all. And like I said in last night's video, I would rather have the subscriber base that we have, which are true fans, people that actually want to help to bring Star Wars back, as I would have 100,000 subscribers and have nobody want to bring it back. I'd much rather have y'all. Trust me. I mean, yeah, we're a small channel right now, and I keep saying we because this channel is yours as well. I mean, you're subscribed to it. I'm just the guy that's on YouTube. This channel can't happen without y'all. So when I say you and we, I'm referring to us. For my Patreons, if you'll go to the Patreon page, I've started if you just go to my Patreon page and then go to community, I've started a subject there. We can get to talking about that. I did get the live stream stuff in today, so I'll probably be doing a test live stream this sometime this weekend. It'll probably look stupid to y'all, but yeah, I got to be able to test it and get everything working before we set up a time to make sure we're not in the middle of everybody, all these big channels with all these, humongous subscriber bases that we don't have. I don't want to do it in the middle of their stuff. So we can set up a time, that way everybody knows when it's going to happen, and they can actually show up and be here. Other than that, I'm going to go play guitar for about, I don't know, probably about an hour, jam out a little bit, and then I'm going to get back on my projects. I have 6 tables behind the camera right now, and every table has a project on it that I have to finish. So I have to finish these projects up. I had more stuff come in today. So, with that being said, I have got to work. God. I mean, it's fun to do, but man, I'm dreading it. Anyway, I'm Craig. Reviews for you. I'll put the Forbes link down there. Click on it. Go read what that dude had to say. That's just ridiculous. If there were any other news today, I'd give it to you, but my emails just come in, and I have not had a chance to go through anything. I literally just got home, went and tried to play around with the camera a little bit to see if I could get it better than last night. Man, that thing blew up just solid white last night. And as soon as I turned the lights on, man, it just went straight white. It's got 50 buttons on it. I ain't even figured out how to get to 4K on it yet. I'm like a quarter of the way through the freaking instruction booklet on this thing. It's got more buttons than Lando's sex robot. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, I know, bad Star Wars joke. I'm Craig. Reviews for you, and I am out of here.